I think they like me. Ooh, I think they like me. And why am I singing that? Because I think y'all must like me. Yo, let me tell y'all something. First of all, I'm Joseph R. Wheeler the third, the artist, the founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Peace up. A-Town down, representing that Metro ATL area. I am the third, all right? Yo, check this out, y'all. I went live earlier today. And you know I like going live a lot. If you are already a subscriber, you know, but you need to hit that button, please. Thank you. Because that's what I'm about to be talking about. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button now. Let me know you in the house for real, for real. Why did I go live earlier today? I'm talking about, what's it been, maybe 2 hours ago? And I said I was thanking all my subscribers, and I let y'all know, man, we are up to, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, okay? Drum roll. We were up to 2,108. 2,108. That's right. Guess where we are right now as I speak? Since that time, 2 hours, 2 hours. Guess how many subscribers more we got right now? 2,113. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5 more subscribers in 2 hours, man. I'm so happy with y'all right now. I don't know what to do, man. Y'all gonna bring tears to brothers out in a minute up in this morning. No, really though, seriously, I'm excited because I can feel what I always know is real when I set a projection and I say, by then we ought to be here, by there we ought to be there. And when it's signs that it can and it should and it will be what I am asking it to be, I'm happy, y'all. I'm happy, and I hope you happy with me, because y'all are making a difference. Y'all are making this 50-year-old intellectual black man from Atlanta, Georgia, with a goal and a vision to turn this into something way more special than it already is. When we get monetization, when I can afford to not have to do the side gig stuff that I'm doing right now, like that's what this represents. I always said, if you've been a subscriber here for a while, you've heard me say this. I say, you'll know the day when this won't mean what it currently means. It'll always mean that. And that's a salute to everybody who does these kind of jobs, right? But when I get to the day where I've decorated one of these, and I got this idea that I've always wanted to do with one, even the one I have that I call Lemon Drop, I'm gonna decorate. I'm gonna have like, I'm gonna draw on it. I'm gonna like put slogans, and I do calligraphy too, amongst all the other arts that I do visual art. But I wanna like really make it like something you look at me like, damn, that's kind of fresh. That ain't just a construction jersey. What is that? Like, that's when you know it still represent putting in that work. It's still gonna represent that work, but you know what else it's gonna represent? It's gonna represent I'm finally freaking free to just do me. And a big part of me is ONYXCON, all caps, one word, forever and a day, ONYXCON. You understand? When I get to the point where we ain't got to worry about them finances, where the bills are straight, and all I gotta do is focus on content and getting it done. I was just talking to one of my homies, shout out to Zeno, DJ Zeno Bathroom. Again, if you ain't new here, if you're new here, you're like, Zeno who? Yes, that's the stage name, Zeno Bathroom. I just like to say Zeno. I've told him a million times. I said, man, I know you ain't gonna never drop the bathroom part, because I know the history of it, why he calls himself that. It's funny, but it's clever and it's funny. He say, what other room in your house you gotta go to every day? I said, stop. That's pretty much his explanation. He's like, I do my work every day. I'm thinking about it, I'm executing it, I'm building towards it, my art every day. So I feel that. Z, that's the homie, Zeno. But I was just talking to him and he was saying he's got some more beats for me. So anybody who's been enjoying that Cyberpunk ATL series, okay, more coming, and more beats on top of the beats you've already heard that are so dope and fly that you be hearing in the background. The only other music I've used in that whole feature, or that I would use more than likely, is from my brother Marco Majors, aka Marco Majors, but actually Brandon Dunn. Shout out Columbus, Georgia in the house. He down there. Y'all done heard me talk about him before, and when I give my shout out at the beginning of the video and I talked about sponsors and stuff, you probably been seeing that name for years now, because between him and Zeno, that's the two people who've contributed the most music to ONYXCON that I use, you know, with the agreement, so I ain't gotta worry about copyright, you know what I mean? And both of them are very, very, very talented gentlemen. extremely talented, amazing masters of rhythm and sound. So the music always be tight, you know what I mean? But yeah, he said, man, I've been in the lab, man. That's why, you know, because we chop it up like every day. We'll be, you know, sending like, yo, you seen this, you seen that. You know, he'll suggest content for me to repost on Instagram, that kind of stuff. And a couple of other volunteers, people who are supporters like that for ONYXCON be coming through like that. But he's one of my, you know, day ones since literally day one when it come to ONYXCON. He was the inaugural DJ of ONYXCON, the first ever DJ, physical, in the spot where we were doing the actual convention. And yeah, he was always my DJ. So, and when he couldn't make it, he could suggest somebody. He put me on with another DJ he knew. And then I had other friends outside of even that circle, other DJ friends that would come through and do stuff. So speaking of all this DJ talk, shout out to everybody who's liking that post. I'm gonna be doing more of those reaction videos to really good DJing. I did one recently, and y'all own it. Y'all own it. I love when, you know, sometimes I don't know if y'all gonna really appreciate what needs to be appreciated, but y'all are on it. You hear me? Doggone it, y'all own it. I put up that joint with the brother. He's mixing together like Sade and some other joints, and it's just flowing and it's crazy. He put that, oh man. Yeah, if you ain't seen it, look through the last feed, all the shorts, you'll see it. It's in there mixed in with shoes and toys and everything else we do. But you'll see it. And if you don't see it, just keep going till you see it. Just keep watching. Please get that number up. Let's get them hours up, man. We going, I'm telling you. I can't believe it, 5 subscribers in 2 hours. That don't happen all the time. It don't happen all the time. Anybody who do YouTube for real, you got people who be fronting acting like it's so easy. Ain't shit easy about this. Ain't nothing in life easy. Please. What happens is a flow gets on, you get in a rhythm, you get to that point with the algorithm where people are showing appreciation, the algorithm starts suggesting your content more, and then it seems easy because, yeah, you did the work to break that gate open. You broke that damn gate open, and I'm seeing our gate is getting broken by all of y'all who support 5 in the building. We need some thumbs up. See, this is what I'm talking about, though. We need them thumbs up. That's what we need. That's what we need. And yo, for the kiddies that be looking, I tell y'all all the time, now, this is not no kids channel, but I know why y'all here, because y'all see some toys. That's partially my fault for the stuff I'm into as a collector. You know, I'm that older gentleman who still collects stuff, like stuff, even whether I'm buying it or not. I just know the stuff in stores and I put it on camera, right? That's still gonna attract every age. I get it, but I never say that my content is for kids. I always, when they have that button for us to push, I always say no, not for kids. Now, if somebody's standing there with you while you looking at the tablet or the phone. Oh man, I can't stand addresses like this. These are the worst. These are the worst kind of addresses right here, y'all. Let me show y'all what I'm dealing with. I'm gonna give y'all a little briefing of what I'm dealing with, right? You see how this is posted? You got a gate and everything, right? But then right next to it, before you even get in to there's this house. All this Texas Chainsaw Massacre looking shit. What the hell? Why am I like do you understand you had to be beyond that fence over there for you to even have it registered that you're here? And the address for this thing is one number off, which tells me, yeah, okay, it's all on the same lot. But beyond the gate is where the actual package is due or whatever. So now, wasting y'all time and mine, goddamn, I gotta get off here with y'all for a second and call this bullshit ass order in and tell them, yeah, I left the one damn t-shirt that this idiot is so damn private that he orders something from a store this big and expects to not, pretends they don't know that on the grid, your house don't even register like you're on the earth until you get past your fence, which you have closed. I don't want to go in the motherfucker, but you need to at least have it where there's a box out there that's within range of the area that will register to say that the, don't even get me started. I swear. This is why I have to monetize, people. Yo, I write stories about this shit. It would be way more entertaining in a story about some Georgia chainsaw massacre looking houses and a courier that goes out and has to deal with that kind of shit. I got all kind of ideas from doing this. But you'll never hear those stories if I'm always in the car dealing with the bullshit, risking your fucking life every day with this bullshit. Hit that goddamn. Hey. Whew. Oh boy. Okay, we back. as I was saying, y'all, I'm dedicated to this. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a full-time YouTuber. You know, it's really not. I don't know if I like that phrase as much as it just doesn't sound as cool as what it really is. It's full-time ONYXCON. Damn it, that's what I got. Whether on YouTube or anywhere else, because it's not just here. But this is an extremely important part of my network, as I call it. I call it the ONYXCON network, and that consists of us having a presence here, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok a little bit, Twitch a little bit, but mainly here. Oh, let me not forget Fanbase. Fanbase is major. It really go in terms of order of importance and where I post and share the most. It's all about here. I go live here more than I go live anywhere else. I chat it up with my people here more than anywhere else. I make content that gets posted for what we see here more than anywhere else. So YouTube is #1, definitely. Fanbase is #2 in terms of, you know, direct. Really and truly, Fanbase and Instagram are neck and neck. They're even, honestly. Instagram would be more in terms of invested time, energy, pages, because I got multiple pages on Instagram for ONYXCON. We have the main page, ONYXCON. We got ONYXCON Style, ONYXCON Fitness, ONYXCON Music, ONYXCON Outdoors. Did I say fitness? ONYXCON Fitness. Music, yes, outdoors. But we got ONYXCON Rides, okay? We have ONYXCON Hotties, HOTTIEZ, celebrating beautiful women of the world and their talents. Shout out to the ladies. Mwah. No, I love my ladies. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. We doing the damn thing. We got the presence. The only problem with Instagram is it takes so freaking long to monetize a channel. And then once you do, you still don't really make. People be BSing on there. Like celebrities make a lot of money on there. Yeah, celebrity. Anybody who's a major celebrity go live on there, they gonna, you know, they make theirs just from being there. The hottest women in the world, they make theirs just from being who they are. You know, on and on with all that. But when it comes to, and I make this joke all the time, I say, I don't give a damn how handsome you are, and I know I'm handsome. That ain't bragging. That's just a fact because a lady's saying it. You get enough ladies telling you that, fellas, you gonna believe your own hype and start. Yeah, that's right, damn it. That's my middle name, Mr. Handsome. You know, it is what it is. I know what I have physically. Thank you, Mommy. So, but it doesn't matter in the scheme of getting people to support something. I've learned that as a dude, you will never get the energy women get. It's just because women appeal to each other. That's a fact. Straight men have a problem, and you know, there's the other side of all that, but that ain't my lane. But I also know how that works too with people liking your content, right? But I'm saying, you know, two straight dudes, one could be supportive of another man's career and everything, but the other dude might be totally jealous of the other dude and won't fucking subscribe just because he's jealous. Well, look at every damn thing you do, but he's jealous that he can't be you, so the motherfucker won't ever subscribe. This is a sad fact that needs to change. Dudes, like, for real, man, dudes got to stop that BS. And I'd say the same could be true, because you hear women always talking about how they get catty and not. But you know what's funny about that thing about women being catty with each other and not like, I don't like her. And it's true, women do be like that, some women, not all women. But for ones who are like that, it doesn't matter. They will still follow and admire, just like how I just described that situation, how dudes do that. But the difference is, women will literally spend money to hate on each other. It's stupid, but they will. Women, y'all feel me? Can I get a witness in the comments if there's a lady who can break that down for them if they don't believe me? What I'm saying is, like, a woman will literally be like a damn near a stalker of another woman, trying to be like dressed like her, do her hair like her, be like her, to get what she's got, think she's gonna ever be a little bit like her. Versus dudes ain't gonna do that. Like, I ain't gonna do everything a dude do. You might like some, hey man, that guy like his shoes, whatever, that's pretty cool. I didn't know those existed till I saw him wear it, whatever. That's how we looking at it. We ain't looking at, I ain't trying to be that motherfucker, fuck him. You know, that's how dudes are, right? But women will literally try to become each other to get something out of it, or whatever, if that's their mindset. I'm not saying all women, I'm talking about that energy, right? And I'm not saying this is everything. I'm not saying any of what I'm saying is literally all men or all women. Don't misconstrue. We're generalizing to make a joke of how certain things can be common. And it's a problem because it translates into how people respect each other in social media. It's like a lot of the issues people are having is, quite frankly, because of some of this taught behavior, and just like it becomes a trend of action where, because it's so normalized, don't nobody see it as mental dysfunction. Don't nobody see it as, you have a mental disorder. Like, that's a problem if you don't do that. Like, there's a problem with being on somebody's page, looking at them talk and do everything on something that requires you to participate so that it can continue. Everybody knows on social media, this type of social media, not all social media, but on YouTube, we YouTubers need subscribers. We need likes and all this other stuff to keep the channel in the rotation of the algorithm, so that you even know when we're posting stuff. You know, you have to hit the bell. If you don't hit the bell, which I understand, I don't know. You notice I don't say that a lot. I just said it, but y'all notice I don't say that a lot. Why? Because I don't even hit the bell a lot, but I follow a lot of people. The difference is I'm active though. I'm looking, what's up? I see you. The difference is I'm active. So whether I saw it when you first posted it or not, I'm gonna see it if I follow you, because I follow people. I follow a lot of really cool folks and what they're doing. And I am a genuine support. If I'm rocking with you, I'm rocking with you. You gotta say a lot of, if I decided to hit that button, you must have said something really crazy one day, or did something really crazy one day for me to bump that, unsubscribe. And there's a few like that. You know what I'm saying? You can create a hell. You literally can have a heaven and create a hell. I was riding just the other day. I'm gonna make this quick example and get back to my point about, well, I'm gonna make my point and then I'm gonna talk about that. So the young brother that I'm talking about, like, he just reminds me of people like that you ain't from the worst, man. Like, man, I'm from Atlanta for real, right? And when I was growing up, my middle school was probably the worst part of my grade school experience, because it was like a crossroads between not only that time in most kids' lives when they're going through puberty, so they starting to feel themselves and they start acting up, and then the good kids decide we ain't trying to be around them other Goonies, and that's me, the good kids. And you deal with all of that energy all at the same time, right? And I remember, like, how all the kids who were starting to act up, well, some of them lived in some jacked up apartments. That would be the equivalent of what people would call projects, even though, people always talk about projects, this, projects that, up north and other places where those are really big, like Chicago, New York, all those places. Do you understand that the first projects in America were in Atlanta, Georgia? Techwood Homes. Look it up. The first experiment in, we're going to have these so-called affordable housing, and they all started off a good thing with good amenities and all kind of cool stuff. They were basically like affordable, fancy complex for their time, fancy apartment complexes. I mean, some of them had pools and all kinds of stuff. This is how all of them started. I heard that even in recently something, I didn't know that. What was it? Roxanne Shante was talking about whatever project she grew up in New York that I didn't even know had a pool. She said they had a public pool. I said, in New York? Like, I didn't know. And I had a year of school in New York, but my whole time, it ain't like I'll just, hey, show me the projects. I want to go to the ghetto today. No, that wasn't me when I was in school. That's never me. I want to hang out in the hood. No, damn it, no. Circumstances, I end up somewhere, I'm there. Hey, I was with whoever, they got me, I'm protected. We good? All right, we in, we out. Fine. Learn something, experience something, find the good people, stay away from the BS, in and out, right? But no, my whole time in New York, I never saw nothing like that. So, but then you'd have to be going into it, because it's probably in the middle, and who's going in if you don't know, so I didn't know that. But that's beside the point. I was just throwing that in for all my New Yorkers who might hear that and be like, yeah. I know they love to, as soon as they hear the word New York, they get crazy. Like, yo. Yeah. But the point is, when I was saying how people mess up a good thing, you got a lot of people that they think hood is like, they think the downtroddeness is cultural. It's not. It's not what you were meant to be. It's what you were forced to be under circumstances. No one, I don't, and I see that as time goes on and people try to embrace the trauma instead of, keeping a bookmark on it and put it on the damn shelf and move on. Like, if you can. Now, if you still there, you're still working it out. But I'm saying, I see so many people who moved on. People made sacrifices, man. Your parents and all these other people, if you had any kind of structure. Because everybody want to pretend like they all came from these broken homes. Now, the sad part is you do have people in suburbs with walkout situations where the dad ain't doing what he's supposed to do, ain't there, and all that kind of BS. You got that stuff. Yes, it happens. But you got a lot of other situations where people coming from something good and they just want to be like something worse. Like, why do you want to be like something worse? First of all, you must have not got hurt enough to know what that really means. You know, you must have never been around real, true poverty to know what that means. See, I think that's the difference. When I was a kid, I didn't grow up in poverty, but my parents exposed me to what that does and what that fallout does to people. My mom was a social worker. She's been long retired. She was a social worker in Atlanta public schools. She worked at CREM. She worked in all these other hood schools. You know, you talk about hood this, hood that. Man, there's rappers I know that would not even, they would have never got on the mic if it hadn't been for my mom. She literally saved their lives and made them the people they became enough to be responsible enough to even enter the music industry and have a career. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you gotta miss me with all that little candy-coated garbage where people try and make a bad thing look sweet. It's nothing sweet about that. Just be real about what these things are. They were meant to break you and destroy you. And when they don't, and then you get an opportunity to make some art out of your experiences, don't be the fool pretending that it was all good when you were in hell. Hell is hell. Be like, yeah, be proud to say, hey, I made it out. Let me show you how to get out. But don't be up here pretending hell is sweet. Don't do that. See, like I said, the difference is, man, I used to see things and be around things enough coming from a good environment. Like, I knew, okay, I'm in heaven, but damn, this is how some other people think. Oh, shit. So you learn, you get empathy early. So you get older, and it's just like, there's no jokes out here, man. You got to miss me with all the playful, colorful, try to make it seem like everything's good on stuff that's not good. And people get confused about when I talk like this, if they're from some of this, or just modern and looking at all these, you know, representations of things. And they get confused because they don't understand. I'm not saying certain styles of clothes, cars, any of that stuff. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about how you really act, how you treat what you have, how you treat other people. Real basic shit is where I'm talking about. Do you throw trash on the ground in front of your own fucking house? Do you allow it to sit and fester and start making the whole neighborhood look bad? See, when I'm doing this courier thing, I done so much, man. I done seen so much from going in all kind of neighborhoods. The other day, I'm in Ellenwood, and I went from there to, oh gosh, what was that other place I was in? Conley. And then I went to this bordering area of DeKalb that I didn't even realize how that connects until I had to take that route. Because a lot of times we take most people, you know, we're creatures of habit. You only go to the places you already have mapped out to be, this is where I go for that store, this store, I get this thing here, I get that thing there, I go there for entertainment, I go, you know. But off the beaten path, like there could be whole neighborhoods behind the stuff you go to that you never even knew were there, or how it looks there. You know, you'll get in an area and you're like, this is a nice area, right? And then you'll see this element, you know, some real hoodie types from, and you'll be like, where do people come from? Because this area is nice. That's because you're not back behind there, around the corner, just 2 streets around the corner. It be all, man, I don't know, I can't speak for no other town, but I know how Atlanta is, how Metro is. Because it's such a sprawl and so many different little pockets of areas and stuff, man, there's all kind of types of people living right next to each other. And you will realize real quick how all of this stuff connects. And it's strange, but it's the reality that most people don't know. They don't know. They have no idea how close they are to every other reality that they think maybe has nothing to do with them. Because then I would turn the corner while I was dropping these packages, and I end up I'm in this one area, I'm like, okay, these are pretty decent little houses, you know. I know the kind of, okay, this is like inside, you can judge subdivisions, like, you can figure out the age. You was like, okay, these built in the 90s. All right, you got the brick front, faux wood siding. Okay, those are when they were first built, they were probably 150 to 200,000. They might, because of the market being out of control, they might be worth 300. Well, on average, they gonna all be 300 and up now, because you can't buy a shack with a dope dealer next door for less than 300,000 anywhere in Metro now. It done got insane, absolutely freaking insane, right? So that's these houses in this little area. Ain't nobody hanging out outside, nothing vagrant, nobody walking around looking scandalous. It ain't that kind of environment. But I am noticing, like, where people's got little bits of trash blowing and stuff because whatever they didn't do right, they stuff is out. I'm noticing, they must not have a HMO, the homeowners association, that makes them ordinance and make people clean up and cut grass and not. So I'm noticing some yards, it's winter. Goddamn, you didn't cut it right before it got cold. Your shit done turned brown. It's tall as fuck. I'm like, okay. I'm just noticing as I'm getting closer to this one where I got to drop off this package. I drop off one, okay, cool, no problem, no issues. Still no issues even with where I'm going with this story, but I get to this one house and I see the doors of this truck open in the driveway. First of all, I'm noticing how many cars are in damn near every driveway. The average in a nice subdivision, I don't care if you got a lot of cars, they're gonna be in a certain order. There's not gonna be no car parked on no busted up car on the damn lawn and shit like that in a nice area. It just don't happen like that until the area starts going down, because people done gave up, they've been through some shit, they frustrated, add a few divorces, a couple of foreclosures of this, that, and the other. Cousin that came from out of town to live with you and didn't leave after they were just coming to see about Labor Day weekend, but they like, I like Atlanta. Now they hate Atlanta, but they stuck here. They got in some trouble in the club and they got to pay off some debts. This is the kind of bullshit that happens that creates the population we have right now. I swear it does. Oh my gosh, the stuff that's going on, right? So, like I say, the rest of the neighborhood does not reflect this one house that I pulled up at. And I see these doors open in the driveway on this truck. Like, on the same side of the truck, both on the passenger side, doors are open. I can see through the windows. I don't see nobody in the driver's seat. But I see these doors open. I see this one dude's head, and he looking real like, kind of like this. And he's looking right at me as I'm getting out the car, scanning the package, all this other stuff. So I know this is the house I got to deliver it to. So I just kind of wave at him and say, hey, man, got a package for you. He ain't say nothing. He's still just looking. I said, oh, God, I hate that. That unfriendly, seedy, hoodie, who is you energy. I was like, oh, damn. Right? So I'm like, okay, all right. Well, I done already read him, and I know there's somebody in the seat behind him in the back seat. I can't see them yet, but I know there's somebody back there. Because like I said, both doors open. Now I'm smelling the damn weed. I said, oh my gosh, they smoking that stink. That's why he looking like that. He was high as hell. I'm talking about his eyes were gone, right? So I get the package. It's kind of heavy. I'm coming up. It's kind of a hill to the door. I'm coming up the hill. As soon as I get kind of close to the car, hey fellas, how y'all doing? They don't really say nothing. He just nods. I say, do you want this here or do you want me to bring it to the door? He's, oh, the door is fine. I said, all right, cool. So I bring it to the door. The other dude yell out the back. I look back and I can see his eyes are bloodshot red. He talking about some damn, what in that? Hey man, what in that thing? What in that? I'm thinking to myself, what logical, he's not logical. He's so high right now, he's just saying stuff. I said, I have no idea, bro. I just drop them. I just drop packages, man. I don't know what's in anybody's package. Like, why would I know what's in your box? I wouldn't open your box. That's illegal. Not to mention, again, why would I know what's in the freaking box? You dumbass. you dumbass, right? Golly, I'm thinking to myself, wow, man. This be the part I dread of I always say, man, I don't want no neighborhoods where this is a regular occurrence. And for the most part, I don't deal with this. This literally was the first time. It ain't the first time I got in the car and I'm smelling weed and people smoking or something like that. Or drinking and they drunk and they are kind of off and they asking stupid questions or saying stupid shit. But nothing offensive, nothing attack worthy, nothing. But just still, it's not a pleasant moment because you don't know where it can go. You don't know what they own, what y'all own. You don't know, right? And that's that uncomfortable, unnecessary bullshit. And like I said, this is a nice It ain't. I need to stop saying nice. That's giving it too much credit. It's a used to be nice, okay, relatively mostly safe subdivision, probably surrounded by more of what was in that car. And that element is even in that neighborhood now. And that's why you saw like the house that ain't got the uncut grass, and the car that's parked on the lawn instead of in the driveway in a specific place where it normally would be. And as I was leaving, now I'm noticing stuff I didn't notice when I came in. Like I'm seeing somebody parked and they damn near knocked over the mailbox, and there's 5 other cars, like they just trying to fit in, and they don't park there, cat a corner to the mailbox, almost knocking it over. I'm like, yeah, this is now officially a hood. This is like, it's one of them neighborhoods like in Friday, how that is in LA, where it don't look that bad. This is bad. Like if you don't know, you wouldn't know, because yeah, people try to keep their lawns neat. You got Miss Whatchamacallit out there, her Daisy Dukes, ass all out, watering the lawn. Hey, Miss, what's her name? What was her name? Oh my God, I forgot my line from that movie. Hey, Miss, hey, baby. Chris Tucker is talking his stuff. It's that kind of thing, but the difference is people not hanging outside as much. That's not the energy. There are places like that, but that's not the energy. So it doesn't give you the immediate, okay, I know who's around here and what's going on kind of thing. You got to take it as a guess, sort of. And people will be sitting in their cars smoking and stuff like that. That is very common. I went to another house. This dude was sitting in his car in the garage. He watching me come up. I didn't even see where exactly he was. I did see the door open, so I know somebody's in there smoking. But I guess he was laying down. He rose up. Hey, man, it's cool. You can bring it right here to me, man. I got it. No, he told me put it on the other car. There's another car in the garage. I said, you want it on the, like, make sure now, because people be tripping about what it. He just laughed, and that was it. But my point of all that conversation is, it's hard to gauge some of this stuff, and it shouldn't be taxing the brain at all. The way it should be just ain't what it is, and that's the unnecessary mess that I notice about some of these people. Like I say, when I see certain people on YouTube trying to front like they so hood and talking about where they come from and stuff, I'm like, man, let me tell you something. Most people from the worst of the worst, they don't travel. They have no ambition of traveling. That's not their energy. That's never been something that they want to get out of life. So you can miss me with that fantasy of there are a few. There are a few. Yeah, man, the game is on us, man. For those of us who, not me, shit, on y'all who get stuck in that stupid, It's a constant game. It's a constant mental filtration system you have to have. You have to have your own mental filter that says, okay, I know how it is, but that don't mean it has to be all of who I am. And I say all because, like, look, I love hip hop cultures, and there's bits and pieces of a lot of things that would fit into what I just said about this guy that I got tired of, that I might listen to at some point in the day for some music, but I have a quota, I have a filter, I have a limit. How much of this am I going to put into my mind daily? And I know why it is what it is, why it sounds like, why the lyrics are what they are, why people have the attitude and the energy they have. I know all of the history of why we even are where we at. But I'm not about to pretend that it's okay when it's not, and that it's not having the results it's having when it does. So I limit. You have to limit. You have to condition yourself. And it's a hard thing to do, because the majority and the masses and the popular stuff, the stuff that's popping, the stuff that's hot, the stuff that's trending, is going to lean more towards all that guttural, low frequency shit versus the higher levels. It always does, on purpose. Because, hey, man, the system when people talk about the system, the corruption that keeps people poor, less educated, less inclined to challenge the norms of everything they have a problem with in life, those things coincide with ratchet energy and ratchet this, ratchet that, and all that. It goes right hand in hand. So, but if you're aware of that and you're moving amongst all that stuff, it affects you different because you got your filtration on. You're like, yeah. I know. It's like going in a club nowadays, if you went to somewhere, which I don't, because I don't be in clubs, but I'm just saying, if I were, I know the kind of stuff gonna get played. I won't even know half the artists being played. Like, who is this? Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. And it's gonna all be the same. It's gonna all repeat. Like, I saw something the other day. A friend of mine sent me this thing. He's a DJ, and it was referencing the fact that some people are starting to make it a trend to say that they're tired of rap. And these are young black kids mostly. And in this video that the person was referencing, and it was like it was an interesting situation because the guy who was talking in the video, he's like the epitome. He was the epitome of the stereotype of what they call a hipster white guy. He knew his shit. He was not he wasn't my age. I could tell he was about 30 something. He might be. I can instantly look at somebody nowadays and be like, yeah, okay, that's the 35 to about to be 40s. He was in that range. He knew his history of hip hop. He knew a lot about the music. He seemed like he was probably a DJ himself. That's why my DJ friend sent it to me. And he was basically saying that, I don't know why people are acting like it's such a big deal that things are a certain way in hip hop with what they're listening to, because they're only listening to what's on the mainstream. They're not listening to the, and he gave a list of all these people that he thinks people could be listening to that they're not. Like he said, Tyler the Creator. He said SZA. Did he say SZA? I think he said SZA. No. He said oh my gosh, Little Sims, which I know about Little Sims. I like Sims. I've been knowing about Sims for years. Now she finally started. I saw Sims in this thing. It was like she had a orchestra behind her at an orchestra behind her at her concert. In England, where she's from, somewhere they had a massive. She's there. I mean, she's a hero at home now. Obviously, I say, damn, all right, Sims. And like I said, I've been knowing about her from SoundCloud. I found her on SoundCloud eons ago. I'm talking about probably 10, 12 years ago, because Kendrick Lamar on SoundCloud, when he was starting to blow up, Kendrick had a playlist on his SoundCloud of people he liked. And I saw Sims, and I said, well, damn, if he like, I gotta know, whoever this is gotta be tight. So I listened, and I was like, oh, snap, this girl is on some other, oh, damn. And I got some joints that I love to this day, right? Top Down, that's my, if you ask me what's probably my off the top of the head favorite Little Sims, Top Down. Top Down is my shit. That joint right there, that's my joint. That's my joint. And it's a story in it. She talks about rolling through LA and having a visit, I think her first visit to LA, and her being from the UK and how different it was and all of this, and me being from Atlanta but having friends and family in LA, and I know how that affects you if you've never been there, and you're like, whoa, it's not only the stuff that everybody always talks about. It's not just, it's like people think of LA and they just like think rich people, mansions, Hollywood, gangsters everywhere, and but everybody's cool and it's fun to be around all this shit. Beaches, the mountains, hey, it's a big party all the time, and every other car is a lowrider or a Lambo. No. No. There are those moments, there are those days, but no. It's like the stereotypes of Atlanta, man, which I really got a problem with people stereotyping Atlanta. They don't know shit about Atlanta. They be talking about Atlanta. Like, what Atlanta you done been to? That ain't Atlanta. Oh my gosh. So no, it's interesting. But anyway, so I looked at all that and I said, okay. I see where we are. I see where we could be. And it's just going to be what it's going to be until enough of us start doing what I'm doing right now. If more of us speak up what we really think about it all, we can get somewhere. If we just keep just saying, well, don't nobody want to hear that, they just want to live in the nonsense, ain't shit gonna change. You gotta give a voice of difference to get people thinking. They're not gonna think of anything new because they ain't hearing nothing new. You gotta challenge that brain. You gotta put them wrinkles in that brain. They say if your brain is smooth, you stupid. You got to have them wrinkles in your brain. So I'm just trying to put some wrinkles in y'all brain, knowing you need it. That's anybody. We all could use another wrinkle. You never get enough wrinkles. You always need another thing to make you think, man. Some people don't want to think. They say, no, let me just leave me over here with stupid, man. It's easier because most people are on the stupid, and that's true. So they create a big group of stupid mofos, birds of a feather flock together, but we get the results of that shit every time. It's the reflection of what I'm talking about in these neighborhoods where I just said, like, you had a whole nice area that I bet when them developers created that neighborhood I was talking about, they didn't ever think anybody would be sitting in a damn driveway looking lazy and stinky, because these dudes looked horribly, they look bad, y'all. They look, and it's like, you know you got a chronic addiction to weed. You ain't even a casual smoker. These dudes look like they wake up and make a blunt first before they eat breakfast, you know? And I'm basing that statement on having seen that. When I was in college, I got stories for days. When I was in college in New York, there was a dude, he was older than all the rest of us because he had been in school so long because he can't graduate because he can't ever get enough of his points to finish. But he's that dude who just kind of be there. And there's people like that at almost every college. So everybody who ever been to college know what I'm talking about. There's them lifers. They figure out a way to just like pinch they credits so they can just do a little bit every year to never officially graduate, but always on campus. So when everybody else, let me see what it's like, 18, 19, 20, 21, when everybody else is graduating around 21, 22, this fool 25, damn near 30, some of them, and they still on campus. Like, how the fuck are you on campus, man? How they not kicking you out? Like, if you ain't finished by now, then never mind. You ain't even, it ain't like you working on your master's. You're just trying to get your bachelor's. Anyway, so this dude was kind of like that. He knew all the teachers. And I remember, you know, when I'm trying to get my beard to come in, he had like a full beard and stuff. But, you know, that could be hereditary. You could be a kid in high school and have a full beard. But I'm giving the example that he was older than me. And this cat was the first and only official, because I knew a few others, but he was the most official 5%er I ever met back in the day when all that was really a thing in the 90s. And it still is, but it was, to me, like for real a thing in New York in the 90s with the 5% nation and all that. And so it was hilarious to be around this guy because it was like listening to somebody who literally sounded like all these rappers that I like from New York. Like Nas, you know, talking about there was 5%. He said, you know, all of us were 5%ers, but something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners. You know, this dude was that lyric. But he had been past all his worst street times, and now he's focusing on trying to be the college guy and get his degree, but he just still got too much of that other stuff in him where he wasn't really applying himself. So anyway, we were in this class where he kept wanting to, like, he realized I was, you know, smarter than the average, and he liked that about me, and he always wanted to talk to me and pick my brain about what I thought on things. And he was like, yo, you deep as hell, yo, you know, you deep, Joseph, I like how you be talking, man. You be saying, I said, yeah, I appreciate you, family. He said, yo, we gotta hang out, yo, you gotta like smoke one with me one time. Bro, I don't smoke, man, I ain't got no interest in, that ain't me, that just ain't me. Oh man, you just ought to try it once, I'm telling you, man, open you up and put you on a whole nother level. The way you be talking, man, you be on it, man, yo, you on Mars, you'll be on fucking Pluto, you know, like, I'm good, bro. I'll stay on Mars. I don't need to go to Pluto. I'm good. I'll stay on Mars. And he was like, yo, no, for real, man, we got to hang out. So one week, I don't know what it was that I didn't have enough going on to where I was just like, let me get this adventure. All right, bro, let's hang out. Let's have a day. That's me and you. We're going to hang out, man. But I ain't smoking. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to be passing the blunt. I'm going to look at you like I told you. He's like, I hear you, man. I ain't worried about that, man. But yeah, let's just hang out, man. So I'm thinking this is going to be a real adventure in New York, and I'm gonna get this archaeological or experience of just history of Brooklyn. And man, this dude was damn near, the way he lived was like 2 seconds from being homeless, the way he was moving. And there was no excuse for it other than just the kind of person that's just not really applying everything they could be to their life to get it right. So he told me where he was in Brooklyn. I get there right on time, as I remember, because he was like, early, let's start early, because we're going to be walking, we got to catch maybe a train or so or whatever, but mostly we were just going to be in Brooklyn. We were just going to go by a couple of stores and stuff. And I was like, and then he was going to take me to some pizza spot. It's supposed to be the best pizza in the world. You know, I love pizza, so I'm like, yeah, everybody always talking about New York pizza. I'm like, hey, word, yeah, I'm always down for some slice, and get us in. I never taught that shit until I got to New York. I was like, a slice? Like, what do you mean a whole fucking pie, man? I'm from Atlanta. What, do y'all have pies? Oh man, you must be rich. You gonna buy the whole pie? I thought everybody's so big and so ballin' in New York. Talking about a goddamn slice with cheese at that. Nothing else. No toppings. Anyway, I'll get to that part of the story. So it's like, knock, knock, man. Yo, it's me. It's Joseph, man. Well, oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. He come to the door. This dude had just woke up. He's like, oh, yeah, man. I'm sorry, man. I got to get my shit together. I'll be with you in a minute. Yo, just chill, bro. Just like, yeah, man. Just wait. I'll be right with you, man. I walk in. It was like a one-room thing. A bathroom, a TV, a mattress on the floor, a damn, like a dinner tray with a freaking ashtray thing. And this cat, I don't smell no food. He had no breakfast or nothing. This cat literally sat on the edge of his bed in his pajamas and rolled a blunt. That was the beginning of the day. Not no water, not no breakfast. A blunt was the beginning of his day. I said, I'll be damned. What the hell? I think this is my order coming. Yeah, I think it is. Anyway. But that right there, that moment was really sad to me because I thought, okay, this dude is older than me. And he's in a one-bedroom apartment in not the worst part of Brooklyn. I'll give him that much. It was in Fort Greene, right near the school, Pratt. But you ain't really got nothing going for yourself, bro. Like, he'd always be, he'd be talking about, we talking about the honeys, and I'm thinking to myself, man, if you brought a girl back here, I know she like, I'm out. Fuck. Like, what decent woman, anyway, would want to hang out with you looking like this? Oh, man. So I ain't gonna be on here much longer, y'all, because it's so dark, y'all ain't even gonna be able to see me. But I did want to finish this story. So, bottom line is, that cat, I don't even remember this brother's name. It's funny. But, it's like, the cat had a good heart. He wasn't like no shiesty dude or nothing. He wasn't on no funny stuff, nothing weird at all. He just a damn slacker type, like super city cat slacker dude that just want to smoke some weed and talk his shit. Just, talk about the latest hip hop track, talk about whatever's going on in the neighborhood, pretend that he's gonna be some major artist, but he ain't really applying himself to that part of his life. So how the hell you ever gonna be that person you keep saying you gonna be? And it was a prime example of what not to let happen to you once you see somebody literally living this way and talking all that stuff. Because at the time, I mean, I've met different types of 5%ers and people, but when I tell you, he was one of them that just taught that the God this, my earth. And so we went walking and we went down to Albee Square Mall when that was still up. I know all that's changed. I don't know what none of that looks like now. Went to a few stores. Didn't get nothing. Just, walking around, chilling, talking about life. It was kind of like, as I remember, my biggest fun part of it was just hearing all his 5% conversation. Because it literally sounded like these people I hear on these records. And I'm like, now I'm literally talking to somebody. This is really the real thing. This is really how they are. And then you hearing him talk about, I remember we saw one of his boys, and he was a 5% too, and the guy came up and they was both talking about, God, what's the sciences? And they started, what's the day's sciences? And they started doing all that. And I said, oh, like, this is real. Like, they started reciting the different stuff. And I said, this is some real shit to these cats. They not joking about that when they do it. And then the other guy started talking about his baby mama, but he's not saying that as much as he said. He said that, but he said more so like, my earth. They do be saying my earth and all that. But it's like all you did was just replace baby mama with earth. But it sounded like the same ghetto drama about everything that was wrong with their relationship. All the so pressure on him for being a lackluster dad. The other guy being a lackluster. The other guy had kids too. I was like, oh shit, who am I hanging out with? This is not me. So it was an investigation in an energy. But it was a verification too. So it's like, can't nobody tell me how certain people move when I've been around your ass. So I know how y'all are. It ain't no, that ain't us. That ain't where we did this shit. The hell it ain't. And then when we finally got the damn pizza, the worst part was, like I said, we get to the pizza, but he's it's the best, man, best you ever had. We get this slice. I was like, yo, can you get toppings? Dude, I remember at the time, whatever the cost of extra toppings was crazy. And of course, it was one of those where all the pieces are pre-made. You can add, all they're going to do is just put sprinkle some more stuff on top of it, shove it in the oven for a few minutes, and bring it out hot. And that's it. But they'll do that for you, even if it's just a slice of cheese. And I remember I had just a cheese. And I was going to get a drink, but he was like, yo, it come with a drink. And I was like, okay. And the guy gave us these little shot cups. Paper shot cups this tall. I was like, I need to go home. I need to get back to Atlanta as soon as possible. It was moments like that, plus a whole bunch of other things that made me decide when I decided, okay, I got to finish my education in Atlanta because ain't nowhere in there. What really did it is Freaknik was still happening. I came home for spring break. And I was like, why the fuck did I ever leave? I'm up there cold as hell in dirty snow with a bunch of rough, rugged cats talking this shit all the time. I mean, it's not, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cool things about New York, but I was in the real New York, not this new one that y'all talk about now. It just been gentrified and all this nice stuff that's happening. That shit was still new freaking, it was Brooklyn. They called it Crooklyn when I was there, like the movie. It was real. Shit was real.